Welcome to Tuesday Tuna. I'm Andrea. Today we're actually going to talk about the moon salutation, and I'm shooting this on Sunday, the day of the supermoon and lunar eclipse, two very special events. In fact, this has been the third lunar eclipse we've had this year, which also makes it equally special. The moon salutation is not taught a lot in yoga classes for a couple of reasons. For one reason, everybody loves the sun salutation, and the sun salutation is very heat producing. The moon salutation is a little more complicated, and it's more grounding and considered a cooler practice. I love the moon salutation, and I actually teach it to my students once a month around the full moon. And so today I'm going to walk you through it pretty slowly, and maybe you'll join me. So Tuesday tune-up today, the moon salutation. Begin in the center of your mat, sideways, and ground your feet in mountain pose, making sure to have your feet touching the ground, your knees not locked, pulling up everywhere from your quads, your belly, all the way through, and dropping your shoulders down your back. Bringing your hands over your head, interlace all the fingers but your index finger, reaching up to the sky. To loosen up a little bit, maybe go side to side. Just loosening up your side body, making sure to breathe evenly throughout this whole practice. Now let's stop and let's make a crescent moon on one side, breathing. Now let's do the crescent moon on the other side, breathing. Making sure to keep your body in a nice line and not to tense any areas of your body. Coming back to the center. Then spread your legs out, have your toes pointed toward the corner of your mat, and come down in what's known as goddess pose, also goalkeeper's pose. You can be holding the moon here, holding the full moon, and breathing. Tuck slightly under and keep your knees pointing over your toes. Come through starfish pose. Make yourself look like a starfish and breathe. Now take your left foot and have it parallel to the back of your mat, and your right toes are pointed toward the front of your mat. We're getting ready for triangle pose. I actually have a block here which might be helpful for you. So you're cartwheeling down, again trying to keep your knee from locking and reaching for the block, or maybe your hand on the outside of your leg. If you have no neck strain, you can look up to the sky. If your neck is strained, look down and breathe. Now here's one of the tricky places. You have to pivot your back foot. Pivot, pivot, pivot. So that now your feet are both facing the front of your mat. Hinging at your hips, you're leaning over, and you might need this block again into pyramid pose. From here, drop the knee, making sure your front knee is over your ankle. Coming up for another version of crescent moon, low lunge, and breathing. Take both hands to the inside of your leg. And this is another one of the pivoting foot transition poses. My toes have to now pivot. And I'm over here in sort of a runner's lunge, coming through the middle. You can stop here in the middle. And then shifting all the way over to the other side. Runner's lunge on the other side. And this is where we reverse directions. So now everything we did before, we're doing in reverse. So here we go into low lunge, crescent lunge. Placing your hands on either side of your foot, coming up, placing your heel on the ground into pyramid pose. Another tricky transition here. You got to have your back foot pivoting, coming into triangle pose. From triangle, all the way up, starfish. From starfish to goddess pose. Let's hold that moon again. And then let's bring our heels and toes back together. Coming back up, doing a crescent moon to the opposite side that you started. And ending where you began. The moon salutation in celebration of this beautiful event this month. I'm Andrea. Namaste.